You are listening to Josubroadcast, episode 12, 3 motivational quotes with Nubia. Welcome to my podcast, where there are good vibes, love, and it's only for nice people like you. Today is a great day because we have a guest in the show, and we are going to talk about motivation. The point of this episode is to make you feel like going outside and live your life like tomorrow doesn't exist. Hello everyone, welcome back to my podcast. And if you are new and you don't know me, how you doing? People know me as Josh or Josu, and I can be your friendly neighbor if you allow me. We have a very special guest joining us today, someone who possesses an exceptional talent in speaking English as a second language. Welcome to the show, Nubia. How are you?
Hi, Josh, and all people listening to this episode. First of all, thank you very much, Josh, for such a beautiful presentation of my person. I'm really happy for being here with you. I appreciate the opportunity that you are giving me to share some of my points of view and also to discuss a little bit about motivation.
It's an honor to have you here in the show. You have a very sweet voice, by the way. And for those who are wondering, she sounds younger than her age, but she's an adult. Nubia, you mentioned something very important. This episode is about motivation. I didn't know what the next episode was going to be about until a few months ago. We were talking about this podcast, and you gave me an idea of motivational speeches. That reminded me the main purposes of this podcast are hobbies, English, and motivation. I think I said that on episode 0.
Did you? I don't remember. The thing is, mental health is very, very important. We have to take care of our body by doing exercise and eating healthy, but it is very important to take care of our mind too. One of my favorite things is to read motivational books. I read a quote which is stay busy and forget the future. And I really like this quote because we tend to worry about what we will do in the future and we don't even know what we are doing right now. That's why I think that if we are worried about the future, we may lose the purpose of that moment.
Yeah, you are right. The way I see it, the future is unpredictable. There are many possibilities, and thinking about the future can lead to anxiety, and we don't want that. Sometimes I have felt down, but when that happens, I try to see the big picture of everything. I mean, I see the future as something good. Instead of seeing the worst case scenario, I imagine that good things are going to happen. And if something bad happens, knock on wood, I will do my best to have a smile in my face because I believe something good is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but it's going to happen. I would like to mention one of my favorite quotes. There is one that really changed my life. It's try your best. Imagine all of the amazing experiences you have ahead. I found it on internet.
I think that it is a very motivating quote, and although it sounds repetitive, we often forget to put into practice because it often happens that we are doing something important to us and it doesn't turn out as we expected. In those moments, I think that it is very, very easy to give up. But that's when we should remember that quote because we never know if the next one will be the good one. Everyone has their own ways of motivating themselves when things are not favorable, and I'm sure all the ways are correct. But one that I think we should all have is to always keep in mind the goal and the resources we have at that moment to achieve it. If we do that, I think we can avoid to have anxiety, as you mentioned, but we do not give up either. Speaking of things to get motivated, do you have by any chance any techniques or secret of what to do when you are unmotivated?
I do. I have found a couple of ways to stay motivated. They are not secrets, as far as I know, but if they were, now they are not. I like setting goals and practicing gratitude at the end of the day, which I think is the best. But let me give you an example. One of my goals for this month is to learn something new. It could be related to cooking or music, maybe playing an instrument so that I can stay busy. Besides that, practicing gratitude at the end of the day is a good relief for the soul. Before going to bed, I like remembering one good thing that happened to me. Tonight I can say it was a good day because I wrote down this script, or today was a good day because I did exercise for 1 hour. It could be anything, like eating a sandwich, going for a walk, or talking to a friend as we are doing now. Practicing gratitude counters any bad moment. That's what works for me. Tell me, Nubia, what works for you? What do you do to stay motivated?
What interesting things you do, Josh. It's great that you can share them with all of us. I really liked when you mentioned that you like to think at night for the good things that happen during the day. I also have some things that keep me motivated. The first thing is always to be busy in what makes me happy or what makes me achieve my goals, like working or practicing some things I want to be better at, like singing or playing the piano. I really love everything related to music and it keeps me very entertained. I also really like to stay with the people who make me happy, like being with my family or my friends.
You have a very busy life, and I didn't know you were into music. That's cool. I tried to learn piano at some point in my life, but I quit because I noticed it requires a lot of practice, and back in those days, I was practicing chess a lot. I used to play chess more than I do nowadays. However, I'm happy with my chess level. It's decent. I believe chess helps with mental health too, but I think my life needs a change. 2023, it's the year where I will follow my musical dream. And if you don't mind, I can ask you for a singing tip after we finish recording this episode. Now that we are talking about music, I just remembered a quote that a YouTuber's father told her. He said, "Surround yourself with folks that have a positive influence on your passions, and always play with musicians that are better than you." It's true for beginners like me, and there is nothing better than being with people who like the same things as you do.
I share the thought of my busy life. I really hate doing nothing because I think I have the energy and desire to do so many things that I love to do. Music is one of those things. It's good that you have decided to follow your musical dream, and I think you couldn't have chosen a better time to do it. Of course, it will be my pleasure to be able to share with you a little bit of my experience with you at the end of this episode. Speaking about the quote, it made me think a lot because it's totally true. When you want to improve at something, you should always get together with people who lead you to be better at it. I consider that the best way to learn and improve in music is exactly that, surrounding yourself with the best musicians, but it also applies to any other occupation or dream. It's always motivating to be surrounded by people who have a common desire, and how nice it is that in this case we share the same desire for music.
Right. It's never late to learn something new. Nubia, once you become a singer, I am going to support your music. I can't imagine how excited it must be to see your progress in music now compared to where you started. Every practice is something to be proud of. So, I should start practicing as soon as possible if I want to improve. Now we have a lot of things to talk that I think it will be better to leave for a future episode. Okay, Nubia, we just mentioned a few motivational quotes that work for us, and hopefully it works for the listeners too. I would like to mention that this episode has taken a few months to be done. Long story short, we created the script through WhatsApp by sending text messages in audios. Right, Nubia? Any comment that you would like to add before finishing the episode?
Totally true. It has been a bit complicated to create this episode because of the time. Talking about me, I think it has been more difficult for me because I am currently working, and besides that, I am always doing many other things. But it has been a very, very wonderful process at the same time. Taking the time to write each comment or answer has been a very valuable experience for me, and clearly being able to share a little bit about motivational quotes and activities that motivate us has been also very special for me. Truly my pleasure.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that you take the time to make this episode possible. Nubia, I wish you the best in your job. Goodbye and see you soon.
Anytime, Josh. Thank you so much once again for the opportunity. See you soon.